For Brasson, say, or many Maudos and some Ayaboa no de Bremo, Yedifa radio stations. Ebro ha Ediosianso Ghana ne Amanone. Then somewhere Yedebremo Numri, the Marco Tribini.
Mampeni abede chair Professor J Nana Opokwa Jemadi abetu just Sidi no ahonke kan bamu no enyam konya ena mpanifo ayi.
The story of 2025 is one of cautious hope. The city has strengthened significantly, recovering from the turbulence of a few years ago.
Sabra Menoka said, Kuma ya wa my Ghana no Shabeja Fiatin Tim Krata say, Court on Shannon for share and to Justice Paul Bafu Bonnie. Say ya Bejana Tum say Chief Justice eso.
Of all activities, both at the Parliamentary Select Committee on appointments and the plenary on anything that has to do with the consideration of the nomination of Justice Paul Bafuboni.
Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando di abase achiwacho ya asore wo Light Wave Health Information Management System jumedian emwon wa boache e di aban lawyer force onye hwehwemu.
More than 70% of the total amount had been paid, and less than 50% of the work has been done.
National Health Insurance Authority Chief Executive Officer Dr. Victor Asare Bampo edi atudwa sara sabia eji aban no apomudin se chiba no wode kokobo ma womo edi fa sika womo jeje sanso na yekon asoye hwe o man Ghana yenwiane ene yemfudie mu nsansam a onabori kopoku di ababetudwa se aban ni utu anamo bi sani ebeboa ama wo man Ghana ye kokko no ane yegina soro wiase no yase akọ yachi bio nsam no afoforo pibinom eka we ho ene ya chance ene wonwudwubre ya ye de mu nchemu esomo ewo akankasemo yemfa seda emenyumekoi
enyumre ya de aseda ma MTN say we there for you everywhere you go. Sons chemist there what the Osons garlic capsules na eshom ye high sense Ghana ton TV Fred papa utobia etimi edibu apa ye kru ye dasom ye do for roofing system adoma damanti afi Blue Gent energy drink na nom dia ba ko ateso Dr. Agri enyumre die di utu pa bebia wo bia Pepsodent cavity fighter na pose preko pa di twi yese na hoode betimi abapa dia ma ye ye duane e de na kase dia enu ani ohenere spices no je amado ensanse na nse wotimi na se pressure na no ade pressure no jibi fifie na jibi wadwuma na jibi wa senti ano sa no okoda otimi budambale si anti enu wode wall slip na so sane e be ya betimi adaye na ade achi a watimi akonnwuma so Ruta natural product wo dwuma so ya wo Ruta mixture saso na Ruta titanic ye dwuma pa afi Lawson Herbal Center say what the Lawson law care mixture no Dr. Dwuma wo yenti na esiesie ma himfia ho ye denti na ho chinti na esiesie ade ya friend Virgin Doctor Sanse wa ma bibia yopa ye green haba mono Eco Bank de sika koto a ye nsuro ho Sanse sika no oboa ebo homa ye a kire se de bia da no na edija befiem na anu sika de koto wo wankasa tim se hope na loso na nso Eco Bank se nyame ya dom asisi ade wa bo ho ntasa bebre na ade ama wani je pa e na etimi apie wo fiem cancelled mixture de SSB sasabro no na ebu etimi etu ase nti enwumre de obehia bi na etimi esiesie awo fie enwumre de ameje so ne ohene wa kasebo ohene madam
Nana ya kese na afi
ama anotufo afei adeshimai madam ansem no nchiemu nie mampani abediache Professor Nana Jane Opokwa Jemadi atudwa se Kenya ni ahokeka ya abo man Ghana sidi ni mu no enye nkonya bi na mpanifo yiye na mmom ahohyeso mu nhyehyɛ ya wodi gu akwan mu na etimi aboa masesei sidi no etimi agina brane wakasa wa 14th Ghana Economic Forum jumedi ekoso ewo nkran ha sei wasesa wo ba yesika semu entoto ya mpanifo wonim de ya ban na ma won tumi ne tena se hwe hunu se de ekono we ne wo betumi aye ne sa ye ntim na wo mu nyina keka won ti pam wo manim die na wo wo ewo sika sem toto ye no wode ye atwuma wase ne de ye hu eya hohyeso o na afa hyehyɛ ya ye nim we sika sem emwo no na mpanifo mo sa nim de na ade agu akwan mu ntise nei ekoso ne ani age a na se bi nye nkonya bi na wo mu yi nda korope anase na mienu na mmom enkomo mu di kyɛ ne ho anamon ene wo tuye.
We have learned that when we depend too heavily on raw exports and excessively on imports, and when we fail to discipline our fiscal habits, the city pays the price. Today, through prudent expenditure cuts, strengthened internal controls, and sound financial management, our economy is restoring confidence, rebuilding value, and achieving tangible economic gains. The story of 2025 is one of cautious hope. The city has strengthened significantly, recovering from the turbulence of a few years ago when it was named the worst performing currency globally. Indeed, the current picture is more optimistic now than we had a couple of months ago. The fiscal reforms are beginning to bear fruit. These are not miracles. They are the outcomes of deliberate, disciplined choices.
Adesimaima maami asanso to amu kasa de ekosuen omai no mayetiri mu nya yende emi enko chance anye ene matroka ehhehye na wodi gu akwan mu no de ano adi mpo asabi yefin se ye yasem akono yenhye enwo so ne efe no enya adwuma ne no ene beboa yen.
This is not the time for complacency. It is a time for consolidation. To make this recovery durable, we must do a few things. First, we must add value to what we produce. The cedi will never be as strong as it should be if we continue to export, for example, cocoa beans instead of chocolates. Stability is not a gift. It is a sign of discipline. It is built on habits such as paying taxes regularly and honestly, producing more than we consume, demanding accountability from all citizens, working together for the common good, and investing in our own capacity to add value. Our partnership with international institutions must always serve Ghana's interests. We welcome cooperation, but we must never trade away our productive capacity or our self-respect.
Shimaima omai Ghana mampeni abedi achie Professor J Nana Opoku Agyeman was a dwumadi ekono ase no Business and Financial Times Chief Executive Officer Dr. Godwin Akwe wachie mu said ye yehui ehwo hyehye no ya na edin enti obesere ankrankra enwumaku e wo omai Ghana ha se ne ye ya aban na tumi atu anamon bi ye nyina ye hunu se obi akakra wode beboa no eno na betumi akoyie ame atumi agina ye na so enye sa ne e ka se ya aban ne nko asede ade bia niema As we begin today's deliberations, let us remember that Ghana's economic stability and prosperity will not be built by one institution or policy alone. It will take all of us working together with a shared vision and unwavering determination. Once again, on behalf of Business and Financial Times, I welcome you to the Ghana Economic Forum 2025. May today's discussions inspire new ideas, bold actions, and lasting partnerships for a stronger and more resilient Ghanaian economy. My man, in Kenya, Business and Financial Times penny, Dr. Godwin Akwe, Sansemi Yamanebo for Patricia Sefa Fisher, and Alfred Henry Akwesiminka, and Edisum. Also, for your show, my Ghana, Pomade was some Sierra Cabana Minta, Candor, Neka, such as an Raho Papa. Was the MPP Abantus on Womusi, Jina, Bine, Ghana, Yapomade, Jina, Yen, Womusi, Nigan as a contractor. Wadima Lightwave, one Bessinia, Wabuch, one Tia Sintinum. What the Aquacoma, by lawyer, any pennies, a one witch enough. One uniform, and for Janesi or Pesa was see at home. What is handsome way now? Kotuja nano pay, Brana, what on San Francisco and shop on watchers and Yamia Dom, Emma NDC about Betsnas, no Betsnas, so my penny bonny dinsem. Was one for ya wash on my Ghana, Pomodon was some pen was us here. Said Lightwave contract in the near Tibion, which enough for multimation. Now was all her contract, and say, yeah, I have a bitch as a baby Betsnas, and was so which enough ultimate mat or my Ghana tea. While catching penny for us and a tear the end. Ye share nim so betimi agebo na afia magana ye nsa betimi akasa ne be ya nhihye bia nom ye betimi atoasom na minister kira se ade ba ko a emu ovre mpa ne se contractor nom edwuma no kura de share ne nsa no won sha ase akura so wo ye hu adwuma enso sika $77 million and ye tua ye de amanom.
At the end of 31st December 2024, although 450 out of the 950 had been connected, the vendor had been paid about $77 million. Clearly, more than 70% of the total amount had been paid, and less than 50% of the work has been done. At that point, we had to refer everything to the AG and the appropriate quarters, including the security, for advice and appropriate action. As a ministry, what we had to concern ourselves with was a solution of the matter to get out this mess.
Now, Minister Manensi, what Munasemba Kwan walk and say, where dear, what Chiremu Yachre Ghana for? Seven Nankasa, a dear, Jumane, Ghana ha. wase ewe India mamu ntia koba ne so o my Ghana bia na obi ho nsem obi ho data bia na obi oyare ekopie nwa ya sabia na gaga okotwe ya center na ye bisa o say obi P level no ma check dia ma o ni ya show record ahodo da sabi o my Ghana nkasa no enam se 7 ni hentie ni tumi woso wase anu se bambo mu nsem enye kra Ebusia Salamat Kukwa Pencil and a Boabo and Semiano at the Bessumian.
Na ebra osofo hwapom den sam so echo government accountability series na seneno and some of the two be and so efa national health insurance the entia nansen wo mo adwuma no enhye dan koso papa ya wo so mo system no enye adwuma bible sumi ne de on my dan national health insurance nyina esu se national health insurance o mo system no enye adwuma apom den so afo mo nyamfo kwabra minta akando a chechire mu se software no ombeto ye no na health insurance for the year adwuma no o ha wo software no oha wo ho pa nti amasisi ano entimi nya adwuma saa enti esi ano aban atofoforo ya wode ba be hye dada no anamu na eno no ebeji bre ansa no matimi de ayasabia nkae ni nyina agu so sebe ya se obi e de health insurance no kwa ayasabia ne ho nsem no ye de be fa saa software no so na aban ehunu sebe ya ne sika sam no so ye betimi aboabo ano wano.
The good news is that we have the solution. And the solution, in finding the solutions, we have taken cognizance of the issues that have gotten us here. And so it was the issues we were resolving one after the other. What were the issues? The issues, one, was that the software didn't belong to the state. And so when we are going for any new software, the software must be for the state. And so today we have GAMES. And the GAMES is Ghana Health Information Management System, and not for any individual. The next solution was the fact that there was nothing like any exchange. And so we have established an exchange where even if you invite any vendor in, the vendor would then plug in and will not have any vendor will not have a direct integration to our billing system or to any other sector. You necessarily will have to go through the exchange. Again, we realized that we were going through these difficulties because the system was monopolized. It was only one person we were dealing with. What is the solution? The solution again is that out of the 950 health facilities, only 450 had been connected, and therefore we have an outstanding of about 500 health facilities. Going forward, we will open up.
Na oto aso se ye ka se o ma hyase kra de ayasabia nkae ni nyina egu system foforo no a o makwakoto no so.
The plan going forward is that in the next 1 week we are going to begin with the teaching hospitals, the regional hospitals, and the highly populated district hospitals to roll them over onto the system, the GAMES. In the second week, we'll be looking at the rest of the district hospitals. And then in the third week, we'll be looking at the polyclinics, health centers, and the CHIPs. In the fourth week, we'll do the mop-ups. So I am confidently announcing to the good people of this country that we have a 4 weeks plan that will get us out of this mess.
Also for Shapum, then some so kwabra minta akando, wamfa anso wa ochechire mu se. Sa Lightwave Health Information Management System Limited ya yeka eho asemu yi health insurance for eno na no omde omadwuma nyina na wose sa hyehyɛ no anka ban no omoyɛ no na so omutu esika be $100 million ene ma adwumakuo no na osofo no kyerɛ mu de entia sa system no omokokoto ye no entimi anya adwuma sɛ de esese eye na ene enwa kwakɔ hia sɛ aban ekokoto foforo sɛ de ɔka ɛho asɛm kyerɛ.
2019, Ghana government signed a contract, a company called Light, and the contract sum was $100 million to connect 950 health facilities. The contract was supposed to expire in 2022. At the end of 2022, the contract was not well executed. And if I say not well executed, he had not connected the 950 facilities. And therefore, the contract was extended twice to expire in 31st December 2024. At the end of the expiration, out of the 950 facilities, only 450 facilities had been connected. At this point, you'd all agree with me that the contract was meant for 3 years and extended for 5 years for 950 facilities, and you have only delivered 450 facilities. Clearly, nobody needs to tell you that the company underperformed.
Salamat Kukuwa Paintel ono ena eko sa ehihye government accountability series yase a wode amane ebre.
Dr. Victor Asare Bampo openimpa wada National Health Insurance Authority anom. Wade kokobɔ kɛse ama yaresabia hodo a ɔman Ghana ya pomodin se achiba no waje waso edidi dwuma no wɔhwɛ nipa apomodin. Wasese sei obia ni hyehyɛ obetumi aka se obi ba yaresabia nesan se na aban ni ntua yesika wɔso otua de mayen efi insurance ni mu ntini yagye ne taku sempoa anasa sreko bi. Wɔso na wɔne ye kasen aban ni tua apomodin se achiba sika de ma aresabia no bosumi bia enti woni wo muka enti se ne so kwa aresabia na san aresabia mpanimfo no gina won susu ade no won tumi so e ka che se card ya wutwa ye 10 Ghana cedis ana mpo bia no bi a woji ye tua wo ka se ye agi sika se wo ho a na se bi eye krono e na wo mo bonti no wabo wo mo kwakose se aban no ayatu ho acha adwuma adwere mo ho otua mu sika ne de ma mo nti se woji sika foforo bi wo achi asabi aban no bedi.
Sisi President Mahama, Minister of Finance, Minister of Health, Adaruma, Tisikano, Yetriano, every month, Busumi Pia, Yetries Canemo, and I assign a review tariffs. Ye say, ye partners Nina, Omo share IRF4, Ya Yede Sikanaba on behalf of government, and our Mokoji IRSani again. Yena, Yebe boom, Yebe back together, ya making sure, say, Yen Yama Emfata, to say. Patient ba sika nsesa wo genu na wo genu nti eno de ye be serious one pa say we facility na say we enjoy some new payment here ba every month we enjoy new tariff na say we cost one now usan koji patient sika dia ene na wa na wo pese wo be ka scheme e be ye ne e be ya be make sure say sa dia no esubetwa
Adeshemaima wapani achemu di akwa wie se de ye aban no to eno ho sase ne be ya ebebo ama ne metumi akọ enkan. Dr. Victor Asare Bampo pani kwanchefa wada National Health Insurance Authority anom enkoma na wo mudi na mpanifo a ye ka apomudin si achiba no a wo nyina to adwene fa ho na wo dwumadie ni so nyina wie se apomudin si achiba dwumadie ni be wie peye ena na wo mo to adwene wo ho mrahye bejani a wo soma de hye wo nandam honorable Mark Kets enso de atudwa se sese aye kasen obia wona sede ye wo se wetumi eye bibi na enu nso timi bua oman no ewo ha ene achewachew ewo apomdin se achiba adwumadie no na enso so empanifo hie se omo ye bibi eno nya nyina so se o ya arasabia afakuntu ase kwan so agi nkrofo sika.
In principle, we will try to right the wrongs that are within the operations of the NHIA and its relationship with its stakeholders. And I must say that what is worrying the NHIA is the illegal payments that are taking place in our hospitals and clinics. And they hope that with an actuary study that has been carried out, they will be able to fix the tariffs in such a way that, the facilities will be better paid, and if you are better paid and you are paid timely, it also means that the facilities have to stop the co-payment or the illegal payment that is taking place.
Honorable Mark Kurt Nawani Nabdam Emra Shebejani Honorable Alexander Kwesi Akwanso Yako Akim Oda ono na som adehye wo ho osem sese omo akwakwa sa health committee omo hunu se wo mu dwumadie no pa titu na akwakwa gina se apomodin si achiba no wo mo foto no dan ne da woni aban bedi nkomo na sika timi atenemu esan se sika tenemu a eno so betimi aboa mapa ama bra no apomodin si achiba dwumadie ni pese wo ye bibi wo che na hyem na wo tua sika de ema arasabe ahodo no a eno so betumi akwa wano na afei omase apekwan a omo betumi aye won hyehye yie ama apomodin si achiba no se de esi ban ye akono no etumi atena woda.
As a service, any pardon, a cotton no, I was certain amount of money, or the bobby, a cotton in no, ultimately, a man budget, the waffle. And you also had no to 2 or more, a catcher and 7 more, and 10 nothing payments and also 1 million more. So be to me, a family dear, a bit to me about 7 10 of the past. On Capenoa, I buy a cape, I buy Abaso, but a bedroom, baby, you say almost say is careful for and your quacquay Mahama cares. Now say, why on Capo, now say you can be so the quack say, and you are for the year. Now is a consequence no jakwetia enti ye de hwa na say health insurance no benye ska bre na bre nyina na say providers no ana omo ya sabia no ehwe nipa wo mo kom ho no a wotumi nye ska tua wonka ma rehye mu aba health insurance no
Adesibama Akimo Damra Sebejani Onimonyafo Alexander Akwesi Akwa Yakomra Sebejefia Parliamentary Health Committee no wasanso etisubin Clinton Akwesi Amwakoni Amane Bofo Asansemi Oboboano
Oswafo ya wo hwe nuane ne kua wonsam so wo man mu Eric Opoku na wo ka se wo kire se Ghana ban ya na wada wo ntimi na ne nyina nso wo man Ghana wiase nyina koko ne kane ne de na nka ye di kan sisi aye ka se Cote d'Ivoire ena di kan team wase wo mampani John Dramani Mahama ene NDC abagu so a wo ye nhyehyɛ pasa ne be ya Ghana so pa de ye bu edin se wo man ya koko de ye dra na kyese yen ne betimi ehwe di kan minister wo de sansam wo gina kotu dwabra abon ahafo ma koko akuafo union ne kyerɛ se afasha wo di techiman wo de ehyehyɛ so na asɛmti champion for to wo boa se onwene to so ne se ema se ebetimi abo achidom sa so na wo mwetimi aboa na afi koko no wo mwetimi adododo na dwumede ya se beto dwa se nananom abamu mpanifo koko board mpanifo politicians na afeso wani ye koko akuafo ma nyina ba bia wo kyerɛ se wedi ne kwan so ano no enti aban won kɔ ne sa
Wiase nyina amanya atikoko kese pa no ebre bi a atwa mu na Ghana ye na edikai na yasan ya chikakra ama ye nuanom Cote d'Ivoire fo abetwa ye na mom eba koko papa agwasi broni frɛ no quality koko dia wiase nyina Ghana ye koko no obi a koko entoye na ye de koko no kwa amanone a ye bia ne ye papa nti ye ntinwie kra na mrofo na twa wie enti ye hye ase na no na mo disika ba se ompese omoto ye koko no sa investment na ama ye koko na ye papa no ma me no koko akuafo mo na mo ye ne sa enti ye bɔ mo abaso kese pa ye koko na ye buru no enanson no fermentation ye no na ye di koko no su gu awiam na ye num sa kopim se ebewo no ma ye koko no ye papa
ani ayekotie ye wosoafo ya wo hwe nuane ne kua wonsam so Eric Opoku na no siyem na president Adama Balkov Madam Martha Adai wo kasa ne wo chese members ne do so pom dodo 7,000 wom guso a wo mo hwe nim sem NDC aban betimi abo achidom se ne be koko no wom bedua ne do so
Afi 2020 num ena ye sha ase kan ye hubo mu ena covid ebebo mu eniti afi 2021 ena ye da kuo ye de ewo sunyan yakọ sunyan ebiem ya san akọgo so afi 2024 ena afi ye beba bu no east nso ye ema ye kura ase kan ema kwa ye nso yetimi kobi yetimi edo eniti ye ntimi etikoko enya 4,355 metric tons afi eye gbokofo maya yakan ye ho abo na ya ma ya buru empem so ya kwa empem wotwe awo 9 districts awo 3 regions emu anenti asese yetumi enya nkyerɛkyerɛ abre nyina
Eni ekwetie wani ya president ya wada abono ahafo Women Cocoa Farmers Union no anom Madam Martha Adai nansam enono na yewie ye no ena kwankyerefo pani ya wada shed cocoa anom wana ekwagina mu Dr. Randiabe Dr. Richard Edu Champo wakasa na wasi wedi ma no ma ya die osanse wo hwe ma dodo na se wo kwa akodo cocoa kura no chise wo pa ne chew bi aseme ya aseme nyonze ma yesumba bi ewe mu na so wedi wo mu atimi egyina brane aye adwuma masisi aye kase ko no ba na eba dia wase wo mo nkoso nye ne saa
Now, Akan say, chief executive, or say, Bono ne ahafo, Mantan yimu, Sawusha said the cocoa, Jumadiano, air corner said the cocoa, yeti, a free, a koi, emua, not just a sweat, ni papa, or share a koi vision I want to see one so. Vision on this, Athia, your woman, cocoa, 1 hectare notice a football park, 1 tibers, 5 bucks, 1% by the year 2030. 1 betibers 15 bucks per hectare. Now times 3,625 Ghana cedis. One kasa bu enkontano. Or say and is wadi one my dear Suani sui esonani bebre.
Kwankyerefo pani ya wo hwe kyerɛkyerɛ da wo cocoa board Dr. Richard Edu Echampont wo gyina mu ma Dr. Randiabe na no si ya no na panifo semiko manka bi yɛmfa nka asɛm ɔno nti ɔsoafo ya wo hwe dwadie ho nsɛm so Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare kasa ne wo sɛ ma na yade ɛno nti na wo gya brane sɛ wo bo amaba so wo mo nkoso nya ne saa na mu ɔman Ghana sikasɛm
Koko ye na ye de kwa amanone ya bedu mre bi a ene ye Ministry of Agribusiness ye de ne say ye koko no ye pese ye di koko no ye chocolate ye pese ye di koko no ye milo ye pese ye di koko no ye drink enti kamani so ade hu ne say e be ma ye ho be afi ba ko mfie miedu ko mfie miensa no na bakofuma ye wo factory
Oswafo ya wo hwedwede ho nsam so wo mayi mu lawyer Elizabeth Ofosajari sansem we nana kojo edu techiman Blue is no wade besom ye
Edom kuma ewo Ghana mrahye badwafie e de motion bi akwa akoto ho na krata nu asem nyina ne se amane abase nyame ya adom a bosumi du bako a ye hya ase memenda ebe ne da etoso enum na chese ne na awotwe ena acting chief justice Paul Bafo Bonny JSC yabatoto na no na se ginu tumu a waba beye oman temu afo pani na dom kuma ne se saa na mo no yentwentwe so ansa isanse ensem kaye bi ewo ho asem wenti ye kwa homa so na ye ne gushegu emrahye bedwani a ono ena okasaye ema dom kuma no ewo saa asem yi ho atwetwe nkomo onmonyafo Hassan Tampuli ena ye ne no ekase honorable Peace FM kase boss ne ye mo adwo you na bibia boko de get the radiase na mo se justice Paul Bafo Bonny in vertin no ye holding on answer na mpacho e die ntra
yo anyway we shall the principle na it say how that one is nipa ready asem court it was a court it my final judgment. Now, and I was saying, not the court, no, any assembly here. Because two Matan and one you are now, the customer can say some judicature. What can you hear? And then calling into question the administration of justice. Into in some at the court, pending cases, not a name case, no. And a movie of our kino na ebia akoko undermining the administration of justice. We one of such examples. And it said Justice Tokono appointing to the office as Chief Justice or court or raising issues about the procedures that were applied to remove them from the office, or raising issues about the decision that was taken finally in the report. Okay, the grounds for her removal were challenging that grounds. And they see what transfer to our judicial service. Secondly, when it to point, and you already come in the back to point. Thirdly, I think we are making recommendations for Justice of the Court of Appeal to be made Supreme Court justices. And I'll say that and never means that they don't come within the meaning and scope of Article 146 in the court and just answer the man. Young will start the media after they wasn't over to office now with another person. And if you justice, your friend is for Bafo Bonny, and all go through some procedures here. Motion now, you didn't call Speaker Honorable. There is some motion no because Speaker, because we must give fidelity to rule of law and our constitutional democracy. We are going to do this not because it is just Justice Tokono, but it is in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, standing orders, conventions, and best practices in every democracy worldwide.
Okay. And say cases been na wo a mo pese omon twen na yenyini nyina mfiri ho ansa na vetin akoso.
Oh, cases no your cases there or the cases there 6. And of course Supreme Court ni High Court Manga na mo ha. Or the cases there miensa and the call ECOWAS courts. If you are, they are still pending. If you are, you are more finality to start a cases now. But we think that it is appropriate, so without completing the process, you don't, go through the process of filling that vacancy that you think has been created. What if the court says that Justice Tokono, the warrant for her removal is inappropriate, is incompetent, is unlawful, and so on and so forth? Where is he going to go to? We are going to have a constitutional crisis, and then we are going to have two chief justices. The procedure for removing a chief justice, anything, Article 146C stated misbehavior, incompetence, and an inability to perform the functions by reason of infirmity of body and mind. In these three grounds, we say Justice Bafoboni and Yenyema Wenu Baku Anase Mino Anase Misa. It is not possible to remove him if he is confirmed as Chief Justice. Because these are the only grounds that the Constitution has provided for the removal of justices of the Supreme Court. So let's not even go there. In any event, we have suspended Justice Tokonoi April 2025. Up to this time, the judiciary has not come to a halt. And I'm saying there are structures within the judiciary that are timed, that are tested, and then they are so efficacious. So without a substantive Chief Justice, the judiciary doesn't come to a halt. So let's wait and complete with the process, and then the minority will give our blessing for the process of formation to go on, if any.
If it da krata ba bontin fi mampani atena yese ya suspend yayi maame Tokonu edi no asem omo kan ye ne say committee no a president power omo so omo koye ehwemu mfa asem no ho no omo hwehwe mu nyina wie no e no omo hu say ampa maame no odifo stated misbehavior enti bibia ye clear say maame no watomra enti ne yayi no enti no say ohwe ensamo a fani sen committee no de baye ne nea efiri mampani secretary also baye ne there say bibia di ho adanse say maame no kode woko enti nkanye no ano no
say menu ya ka say prima facie case by the Council of State no mpacho anya bia won report no da
there be me na minim say bia wo de wanya bi
there be impartial, even Justice Tokono Akata no who reports on that. That is one. Justice Kwaman Committee, near Omutina case in Osono, and Omudi reports come on Mampenyi, John Dramani Mahamano, up to date. Impartial Musaka reports no.
Me Pachano to me who be there. Hey, na mo MPs dey say kaja mo na mo watumi ona ye dey. Yeah.
Oh, no, don't come out there say for on yefi.
Hey, sir.
Mighty and happy minority in particular they say for yefi. But the truth of the matter is that up to this time, since August, Justice Tokono has not seen a copy of the report. These are the grounds under which that you were removed from office. And this is the report that you can raise concern. She has not been served with a copy of the report. This is proprietary, procedural, inappropriate. And she has every right to be given a copy of the report. Indeed, as someone here can say, Mumayan Kaiwi, Mumayan Castamini, Nandi, I was saying, Shebi, I was saying, replacement and not on then everything is kosher. After all, the Constitution provides remedies for every wrongful action. The Constitution provides remedies. She would not give her the opportunity to test the validity of the decision in court. Ultimately, Justice Bafoboni, Bibi Tastina, can he also go and seek remedy in court? So we are not doing it for just Justice Tokono. We are doing it for justice. We are doing it for democracy. We are doing it for the independence of the judiciary and Article 127 And I think that it is the right thing for us to do.
Hey, honorable, my members house ask them we say, a man for say, I say, Edom Kuma Nankasankasano, Mono Mota, Mame, Toko no Chintino. San Assam yet the cram bakas and Assam or the Didikain and no, and at the Tosumi no so say. Acquire your fast so a ye no, a bimaka say, a bank chiremu said Dien Kuranoa and Pasumu. Money or more was our second school of thought to say, Quire your fast so ye, mammy, Tokonu. Sabai chiremu said the air and Twasumuno, Ea Junana.
Oh, you know more Yadu. You know more Yadu because it is in the interest of the Republic that litigation must come to an end. Then to me 3 months for the entire for our entire life. Litigation must come to an end. But we have to get finality. Mr. Namika, report no him. And a report Mika. In some now, a year on my penny, so the ye, Mamino. A tough me. Is it in accordance with the Constitution? Those are the questions that we are asking. And we think that Justice Sokono deserves to be given the copy of the report that is that provided the recommendation for her removal. I don't think it has to do with any partisan position. It has everything to do with standing with weaker parties, according with the Constitution, according to the rule of law and our constitutional democracy. Now, if it is just going to be so easy to be removing justices of the Supreme Court as if you say, you are attacking students from school, then we don't have a democracy. So we are standing behind democracy. We are standing behind rule of law. We are solidly behind judicial independence. And we think that there has to be an abatement of the tyranny of the executive on the judiciary.
Open, and now speak a ruling again.
I know speaker never train. Yes, we are trained that I da over my ruling. So obey admitting motion or admitting swa. And the next steps I will say for. Then you know, if you are even more swapping.
Yet I said, you penny. Onmonyan for Hassan Tampuli, our year, Gushegu, Emnashe, Bedweni, or and I yet in the church and come off as a me.
Yadro my Ghana no asebe de fia Boko Central MP Honorable Mahama Yarigam wonu kroya san so some majority leader was saying European Union any o my Ghana emra asebe de fia nkita hudie na wo ma sha ase edie eni mpempenso ababedu eni ayonkofa no aba no eboa papa na ba ko obesre sempani fonfa wani ni ache yese emra asebe de fia fo a ewo my Ghana ha ena afa European Union de no wo mu ni nkomo nkodu mpempenso se wo mu nyina de kabima men kabi ana ya adwuma ma wo mu manmu adehia so ewo oman na wo kan ni nyina mu so ya adehia wo mu de wo makoma edi amanyo samachi esan se wo mu hwe anim so wo man no ebetumi anyini enti o se ya sodie ede ma European Union mra sebeje fiefo ene Ghana emra sebeje fiefo se obetumi atoto won ne mayie na won komodie na wi akwakoduru se enwane bebuso ewo sai aman hodo mu kwanya nwane befo so abusu no se ya hyehyɛ ya asa aman hodo ebetumi de agu fam na ahya ase nyini na aboa amoman no etemenye so mfa so.
Actually invest in great technologies and other technologies that will facilitate the transition. But how can we help fund agriculture, ensure food security, create jobs for the youth so they don't have to walk across the desert and go through the very perilous travel across the Mediterranean, try to cross into Europe and create all the migration problems that many of your countries are confronted with, which are thorny political issues for you to deal with back home. So these are the areas that I believe going forward our cooperation must be looking at. And how can we make sure that trade is fair so that when our farmers produce, they can have easier access to your market, same way that your finished goods are having easy access to our market, same way as your technology and manufactured goods are having easy access to our market. So we can keep the youth working here and they don't have to engage in that perilous travel across the desert in the Mediterranean. Create a problem back home for you.
Adesimaima Bako Central Mra Sebejani Edom Kunini ya wa my Ghana Mra Sebeje Fienso no ene wa mona no for Honorable Mahama Ayariga. Say European Union Mra Sebeje Fiefo aba 9 aba my Ghana Mra Sebeje Fia ni titiu one chiame hine edi nkomo se wo ma yonkofa no onko so ama ntena ho na wo muntimi nyina so mfa ntoto niema. Sa nkomodie no emu no second deputy minority whip Honorable Ahmed Shaib enso ede atudwa se no kwasem ayonkofa de ya na eye anika wom faso firi so ba nanso no kura ta achie pa ye se European Union mra sebeje fie ni o man Ghana mra sebeje fie ayonkofa we die wo se na niji ho papa no wagidie wa rehemu se wo mo bedi nkomo na koduru mpempenso se ama hodo amienu betimi anya mfaso a ebe kire se amamu papa eye.
We acknowledge the very importance of parliamentary democracy and diplomacy and the deepening our ties in Ghana and the EU. Ghana's commitment to construct dialogue, partnership, and mutual respect is key. And that is why when the Speaker is at the helm of affairs, we are very confident that most of these things will be considered. The Right Honourable Speaker welcomes this opportunity, and we as minority support this gesture as well to ensure that we have very broad estimates and shared priorities so that we can engage further on issues affecting youth in Ghana and most importantly the respective parliament.
Timaima Weja Bawe Ma Sebejani wasan ye second deputy minority whip Honorable Ahmed Shaib sansa minyina yamanda bofo a esom de free mra Sebeje fie Emmanuel Akoli and afem William Gentu ene de som yen
Emra Sebejani ya wogina hwade ma de hye wa sensa abaton pesua so fifi mantemo eye Reverend John Intim Fojo no wasisi ade Ghana fo ye ndisi aban wamwa dada Ghana fo papa aban we kasa sabe to enna hwie mu agina hɔ no mu a na ahwea wan trip aba begu so omampani John Dramani mama ne NDC for brand wo muti opposition no anti LGBTQI+ bill ne de ne wo mu ka ho asempa ne omampani dada na do wo hwe so obetimi de ne nsa hye nei NDC aba betina so asem moto honhom bi ewro mu ase ebeye ase enye bill ne yemmo mra bill no kura ewu se ne esitie ne yemmo akire wo de enya hwe ye ntwen se ne ebeye a ye betimi de akwasha omampani John Dramani mama nsem na wetimi epia so awo so na adane mra ewo mayi mu na wode sansem wagina to dwa na ena no beto dwa sem chiame hine wo my Ghana mra Sebeje fie ne dia wo kanyina ne sem anti LGBTQI+ bill no say el ne lesbian na gay woman bisexual transgender any queer ai ebia so ne ye by the time ntimi nchirim asema speaker wonya wo kanyina ne tia watwam nyina ne sem wo say 8th parliament no ene bill no nyina na ewupo mu na ne wie yi na Reverend John Intim Fojo de to dwabra no ane maame bia makwafo edi nkomo
NDC for the woman in our Ghana for no person de adwin di agro e bra no mo opposition no mo nyina de ko benkrum ka kasa ba ko e de tie sa bill yechi mo bae na mo me pass do ya every day bia esono de NDC fani bi ka e wo mo aka sam mu no adan wo mo e wo opposition wo mo ka sam ba ko na enne na wo mo power Ghana for nyina e do mo ni so mo endi sa bill won agro no be pass ama wo mo no mo kasa na mo teche ma assistant empemponya ye ni ye mu bi de ka wo na ye party wo power eno ani dina mu aye ka de ka ne se emra ebetumi abo ya wari se mu ban ene se wo ba e wo be ma opin so de be ko ne kresti e won se no ye ma kwan e ma sa so do mai to ho bone no e me to se no
Reverend Amanensi word mani dia wadi to dwanse wo besre dom dodo a wo my Ghana mra Sebeje fie se bra na parliament etoso nwoche wo honom no senia bill no woto obo ase ye hu adwuma no sa pepepe na nya no wo mo mpese wo kina nkoyade ba foforo nti obehwe no na clauses ahodo bi wo honom mo asese wo se ba ne sa de a ebe ha adwene pa
the can say enya fe ni ebe se bibia foforo ye dia papa dada mo dia to em na ba other paper ne so enne ye hwe en mu so enya brofo tenten mo ma ne mra other paper ne so ni le for first reading enya fe ni ekwakoyi bibia free mu as dia ba bill na ye pass ya na ni before say President Kufuor and sign the same bill no ye koyi bibi free yan tra ho nya hwe han em wo mu enko fie nsum en wanta ne down yi na personal nam ni wo mu ye ba be bo ye ya ba ho ban no mu koyi na enkoye bilto I mushing me kasa no ye kwa pass. We will resist every attempt by this government to water down the bill in the same shape and form na atie aye dia betu o mani mu o mo famra enne na ye
Amrasabejani ya wejina hwade ma de hya wa sen South Abato empesua so fifi mantem. Reverend John in team for jo manfo bekaya 8th Parliament no. Na nipa wagye gina mu ka ho asem pa. Sam George sisi aye kase wada communication ministry na no enti nipa wasori a wo kasa yiem sofo in team for jo na wie eno ne mami bia makwa afodi nkomo kirekire mu.
Na ene Supreme Court etna ase na some motena so no mu baako ne owura edu buahen kwabena edu buahen na lawyer atachia ene ne team ede akwakwada Supreme Court no say High Court temuafo no a wodi edu buahen asem no on sheda nya ne ma bi ye tinka ya omunyini mfi asem no so kra na yemfa temuafo foforo emra metena asem no eso na Supreme Court no etena ase no onu nyina anoko bankuro mu say ne esese edi ansa ne yi temuafo bi afiri asem a odie no so no enne di ewosa krata no a lawyer atachia any team ede ba betu dwa no eno nti Justice Avril Lovelace Johnson so omo eyi no efiri wosa no a enye yi enti obetumi atena asem no eso amanfo ebeka ya kwabena dubu ahe ya kana asem woni ne yire Angela Ejei Boateng ena atene general ede sobuo bi abo wonum se wonum ayenhwe ha ama Ghana sika bia enye sika ketwa 49 million Ghana cedis afa womo ensase National Signals Bureau no mo yese komo kwa koto niema bi e de abre Signals Bureau na so niema no ama sika no so ama enu nti ena womo edi na asem sesi a na bre na Supreme Court no sorry lawyer Samuel Atachia ya woye lawyer penia o twitwaje kwabena edubu ahen ene na yire no e de asem we to sentrofo enim.
Well, I'm disappointed but not discouraged. We'll see how the case will be. It doesn't move me at all. The only persuasion a judge will have is the law. I'm not going to have a banter with him. I'm not going to fight him over anything. I'm just going to protect the law. It doesn't move me at all. This is a 5-0, so that is a tall order. You may review. Yeah. That's a tall order.
Enti ebra ene court no etnase na temuafo penny ya wodi animo ekenkan sem no Justice Avril Lovelace Johnson ekire de enti a omo entumi nya asem no free Justice Nyante Nyadu ensemu no eno ene sene wonmunyamfo atachia so ehunu ena okire mu kire yenu aba Philippa Atanga
ye gina my Ghana brand sebeje fie bio na Jemcha for the Foreign Affairs Committee with European Union wamomra sebeje fie Orua David Mark Elista was saying Okwa wamomra sebeje fie ho ade ba ko mani ku ho pa ye se wo mehunu se wo man Ghana ye di ye ewo ye kabi mami nkabi ne ho afei abibi man ahodo nso betumi adi ye na da ne da no omabosa abibi man ko ni chidom na ekoba ne se abibi man panimfo no ka wo mabakosem a omunyi European Union enfo film eni nti ose bo a mo bo anan e ba o man Ghana mra sebeje fie no mo be si chiamehene Right Honorable Akan Kingsford Sumana Babin so no na sefata se wo mo ba isan se eyade a eda wo makoma so papa o se wo bo man Ghana ba so wa afi apema henkro ne adiokro mienu ya mamra no ya atum adidi entwuma no ya ye ne yie papa ye de kwakodum pempen so se kabi mami nkabi no ama hodo bi so de wani di akire ya wo mo esuanti ba wo mo ba ye no o mo nante se ya two se wo man Ghana be di yie na European Union betima gina ba bia ka se wo mo so kan ye yie die ne ho ne ye ka se bia ba kosem ne ye di ondin abata ho.
Ghana is a preferred partner for us union in the region. We have a strong political and security partnership. The European Union and Ghana have a long-standing relationship that goes far beyond cooperation and trade. And what I would like to point out is that in a very fast-changing world, we as European Union really try to offer reliability in our partnership. The EU is more than ever committed to sustain partnerships based on shared interests and values like democracy, like regional integration, and like the rule of law. We commit ourselves as a partner to Ghana's future, delivering tangible long-term benefits to the citizens.
Adesimaima Jemcha was some Foreign Affairs Committee, European Union Mrashebeje fie Orua David Mark Elista Udru Mrashebeje fie ya chairman Right Honorable Akan Kingsford Sumana Babin so ma woma kwaba ji won so se anamona woma tunu eye ne kwan so ano no nanso wo say oman Ghana ene abibiman ahodo de ehia no enye se ye betena se de ensan hye dem from na omu nsogu ya no ye hia se omu bebie adwadie mu apaye hotie mu de ato ho won be ma ye kwan na bra no nkita hudie wo adwadie mu no emu beda ho yie na bibie ntwintwan ya na mu na ye di dwa e wo adwadie man kese no so a ye so atimi nya ye mfa ahodie enu mmom ene yesere.
And so the area that we need to focus on is trade and investment. And the world now being a global village, it's easier for us to work together. In fact, 3 days ago, I was in Paris. I was happily invited to a wedding between one of my daughters and a French. I just came from there. Very, very, very good experience. And so we have one and the same people. And that should be the focus of all. It's not to see one being a first world and another being a third world. I don't know that create your educational system that way. It shouldn't be. That would be an unfair world and definitely quite challenging to the society.
And then say kabima ka bibe tumi anyini wo man bi so ama mo amuna de hye etimenya mfaso a Jesus a wo man no mpanimfo toto wo ne mayie na won sika sem tumi gina brane na mfaso atumi aba na de hye no so atumi anya sika wei ene de yesre so mo maye kwan so wo man Ghana ye di dwa ye ho be hare yen bibia ntwintwan ya na mu omo fa mra bi nkyekere yen sense ye betena se no omo be so ewo ade agu ya no emra hye be da fie chi amehene Aban Kingsford Sumana Babin ene yete no nka no Emmanuel Akole ena afa William gain to ena desansemi esom yen
mampani chi ameheni abedi eche na oye bampo ado na ekase ne dia wade to dwane sem o mampani John Dramani mama Ghana tumi mra no ahye ne kutu paso obetimi ayi appointment bi a wope ewo abanuma hodo ebiti se ministries department and agencies na so ne awo kan nyina na se Ghana fo mampani ba no woni mra no so e ma sebe entrahye wo ne pepepe se ne edimu na esefata wode sansem wo nyina kotu dwadwabo kese ohyehyeye ewo nkramantem fa ne se wo mampani na Ghana mra ahye ne kutu paso won hwe se nyuma no wono betimi apa opani obetimi edi enim na etimi aboa na wo man Ghana chechie na etimi afa ne ntuma pade fra na na oye bampo ado wakasa no wo chese wo hwe ebremu a sanya 2 minutes tie mampani dia obetena so no na nhihye bia ne gina esie bia wo si bia wo hwem esanya Ghana mra no wo ka ne pepepe ene obetimi edi aye adwuma sabiom na esie bia oye mampani nti appointment a wo ye no na wafo bia wo ye party ni bia no wote so anipa we die wonim wansam fata enti se anipa we mi wo nkonsa mi yiwadim se kotena fi wadwuma bom wo se NDC aba betena so wo monye ne sam wo hwe public service na senior appointment si kwaso no ne kwa so ano no na wato so acheche mu se ye public service commissioner anu odenia I was say Ghana for gina ye so gina na so brand ye adwumaden ne etimi ebo wachi edom sanse wo my Ghana tie enye NDC aban pe na wa ha na mum MPP a omuti opposition kra no obi ka na sem wo ye government in waiting anyame ye adom na bi ekoto aba anhwe ye anu wo na ebanti no wo bi a ye for pass be ye my Ghana adwumade ni kwansa sa ni pa no wo ye obi ode ne ho for amanyosemu.
So a check at the presidential records at the office of the president shows that the Public Services Commission were copied in all appointment letters of the CEOs. In addition, the preamble of every appointment quoted the relevant statutes that established that office. Therefore, under the presumptive principle, the powers of the president was legally carried out, both substantially and procedurally. Upon analysis and holistic reflection, the President of the Republic of Ghana acted within substantive and procedural limitations.
Anie ekotie wano eye mampani chi ameheni abedieche na oye bampo ado na no siyem na wasofo ya wo hwe nwuma ne pade won samso Rashid Pelpo wade say to aso.
But it is true that an independent, impartial, deliberately conscious civil servant will ensure that the minister himself is protected, he is guided, and he is supported to do what he is supposed to do. But every now and then, and I have been saying it, when you enter the civil service structure, and there are a lot of largesse in that the ministry within which you are operating, you don't know anything about anything. It is a civil servant who comes to tell you, do this and do that. Because many people enter government and are promoted to be ministers without knowing the inner workings of the civil service. Rather than the kind of advice that can let you go straight, they give you the advice that can let you be somebody else.
Ɔsoafo ya wɔhwɛ nnwuma ne padeɛ wɔn nsɛm so Rashid Pelpo ne nsɛm ano no. Kwankyerɛfo panyin ya wɔda civil service ano ɛyɛ Dr. Evans Agridako wɔkasa no wɔkyerɛ sɛ si ano wɔbɛsrɛ Ghana ban ɛsɛ wɔ dwumadi a wɔdi nyinaa hyehyɛ bi aban no betumi ayɛ na wɔde abo akyi dɔm wɔnyɛ sans wɔn mo brɛ.
That mutual dependability, and then also a system that will continue to live in the same space. Because when Woodrow Wilson himself said that we need to separate politics from administration, when he himself became the president, he couldn't do it. He couldn't implement. So it's not doable. So that mutual dependability is what we are crafting, and that mutual respect is what we are crafting. So that mutual respect is important. We'll continue to prioritize our trainings. We'll continue to prioritize the well-being and welfare of our people with the support that you provide. We'll continue to depend on government to be able to, craft a civil service that is much more potent. We just visited Singapore to learn from their experience.
Dr. Evans Agridako no air kwankyerɛfo panyin ya wɔda civil service ano sansɛm wei Henry Akwesimi nka na kyerɛ
na okokolebu aban ya sabia Dr. Penny ba kwa oyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ hɔ yɛfrɛ no Kusi Apia ɛna wiase nyinaa de asi hɔ ɛkae enwodwo ana stroke yare no ɛna ɔne peace news atwetwe nkɔmɔ kyerɛ sɛ abusuafo ensɛm a doctor fo te ho wɔ Ghana ha ne nya asɛm ketwa ɛba stroke a kane nanke anim sɛ saa enwodwo ne de mpanifo yare enso ne emfie aduonu dunum nkwala nkete nyinaa enya stroke no bia ehu papa na Dr. Kusi Apia kyerɛ mu sɛ yɛka stroke yare no a enema ede ba no ebi wɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ ensanom emroso obi onso so a saa hyehyɛ bi a abɛyɛ ne na emafo ede asi cigarette anan a yɛhwene saa no ɛno so ka ho afa obi so a wadro srade abroso ɛne obi a ɔno so ɔwɔ asi kyerɛ yade ɛne obi a ɔwɔ mogya abroso ni nyinaa etimi de stroke no bi ɛba.
Cases na ekoso Ghana na ekoso ehwemu a mane enema a omuna obeka so breadwinner a omuna ekwa aba omuna ye adwuma ma oban na nyeska no obehwe na nanse no ama edi dodo na so nkofo enya stroke na unfortunately no so no edi nkofo so enya no so no obehwe na edi wa management na enheda nkoyi dodo na so nya edi na edi so free mu ana bia ma asaso ha adwene se se obehwe mu se I say younger people so enya stroke na ha say no so ye worrying in the sense we say ye dan nyina no afibia na ye bohu dawo nanso enyuma na kotwetwe stroke ne ba no bit hypertension diabetes ene said nipo nkeka mo ho ne kese ne ade no nipa pii na adwen abaso a omuntu ho na mo
na oto aso se ehun behia se enyumakuo musua ne ankrankra ebehwe omapom din ye na niema bi a ebetumi akofo ha abre won no wotwe ho firi ho
stroke na sense say pi aba ni nipa die ni mu no ene se bi o poso edi ni duma fa enti se stroke no e ba nsa na e behia se different health professionals be ka aboma boama ya boa ni pakro no ebi wa enuro nyoma na ekotwetwe ye stroke ne ba no se ye pressure se modambo so se tiche yare o se cholesterol ni ade no ebi wa na e behia se obema ni ndura ma sa nyoma ye de abafom aso na se ko ba se enam se tomato na aba adwen mu nti no ipa no ne fa be bi to be near juma ya na hu be hia so be pe ye other health professionals want to see fa say ye fe bi physiotherapy ebi okrampa e bi a o occupational therapist ya na hu be hia say e bi a in psychologist man pa ko ne kasa man hu se wo ta chia so ngu ye
Dr. Kusi Apia eya juma ewo kolebu aban aya asabia one Caleb Otu Eshen na etwetwen sa enkomoyi yemfa we ehume kase bon so na yenye aboafo enkrato yebesan abasisi a
Peace FM. Sesiade, edumani move big. Contracts no so big. If you abra me fi ase di DPS pipes e bo edumano. No complaints no excuses. Smiles nkwa. Enti contractors, plumbers, adensifo, any obia we see die. DPS pipes are connected better. No leakages. A sign chapa. So PVC pipes, HDPE pipes, PPR pipes, DPSO, and sanso your correct map project. Bia. Fresh ACR 0543 662 727. Pomechina Kwan was Sprintex Road, Coca-Cola Chilewa. DPS pipes connecting you to life. When you're going
going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The Luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The Luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The Luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The Luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
It's been 10 blazing years of fire, pride, and brotherhood. Get ready as the Blue Magicians light up the sky once again. On Friday, 31st October, 6 p.m. sharp, all roads lead to the Presec Legon campus for the Odadia Torch and Bonfire Night 2025, the 10th anniversary edition. Experience the iconic torch procession, massive bonfire lighting, and unforgettable performances. A night of music, memories, and magic where the past meets the present and the flames of legacy burn brighter than ever. Hosted by the 2015 year group with special appearances from the generations of proud Odadia brothers. This year, headline artist Black Sharif.
Decisions I made in my pajamas.
Also performing live, Araza J, Solenke, J Cliff, Roni, Lamam Gang, EWP, with your favorite DJ's favorite DJ, DJ Black. This show will be live on the Weekend Warmer on Joy FM. Come relieve the nostalgia, the chance, the brotherhood, because once an Odadia, always an Odadia. The Odadia Torch and Bonfire Night 2025. 10 years of keeping the fire alive. For inquiries, kindly call 0242-705-983. So, in the effervescent spirit of our joyous anthem, join us as we cheer. Oh, come along and join us. This show is in partnership with your super hits radio, Joy 99.7 FM.
Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Obade share mamo akwa bansema ye debre monwumre dedi mu akotene bi ene se
Mampani abedi ache Professor J na no poko agema de to dwase sidi ni Kenya ya aba no enye kantamase ne nkonya yie bi na mpanifo yie na mmom eye modemmo edom kuma ye wo man Ghana no asebe de fie tintim krata de gina court se Paul Justice Bafo Boni and Pennyfor Ressa one yin say Chief Justice. Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akan so they abetu just say Light Wave Health Information Management System. One more contract, you know. Achuachu abomu no aboechi e de ama ban lawyer for. Chief Executive Officer, National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Victor Asayebambo, so the abetu just say Sabia. One more Sika or Via was signing insurance sika for a buying on Omun Shayin. Yako Aye Food and Agriculture, Honorable Aye Eric Opokun, so the Babetu just say a buying no bonnet home what they say. In Fudiamu Jumedi Bejan and National Memu at Minian Faso, Nebeka will be a Macocono, Yasambe dan number 1, it will be a singing and some way near for Frobi, and yet the sumo and ne on your jubre. I can count for aye sumo any.
Nana ya okese minenu
Amma. And not to for an affair.
Oh, you know what? Cassie, why he had yes, a damn son's chemist, and then you made dear 1 year na essay kutupa kama near boy Jumano, ya de some Ghana for what also dear. Nay, your Oson's garlic capsules snibby, we may not die and Tiana or Cassato Hondo. And to Oson's garlic capsules snibby, na medema na nama, na one num. Sanya Baya, one to Chino Combi and Chireme. And we say, Wapama moja dear for Sunny the Pedianimo Kama, and my ultimate home. And empty and say, we there for you everywhere you go. Now, my missa said, with TV no what's the son of Fred and sway. Gas cooker no sway, sister, and my name Rawate, and then we have to be according him. Well, me have phone crow cram ya no my bemwebu. Oh, now, Monsieur High Sense Ghana no be share me born now, so I shall buy winnishy. None to plan pan say, High Sense, dear. One more product, one more tongue in your papa. Your friend is say a word, your message, who so obey you soon. Onana counts one you never be you soon as still grandin. Now who to saw honum. And now when I hear can want some dear say, Yana, your tree of bois sema, send your beya, bibu crassy a bit me as a Santiama will warranty a dash on bibia koye papa. High sense, Messi A. Sinebusia, me come at round. what the board them now kwadane ta John so abon say sent ni na ebe ye firi honom send me you should be ntina make kan wasem nom e na blender no so papa de ne ehia ne se na ntebe pie mum e wo showroom ahodro nyina mu se ne ebe ya won sa betimi aka wo de number betimi afresi so e 030255 0000 030255 0000 na me pa chon chance e de bodan so de na me ato nsam eden ya wusi obi kan se single room aha ana wetimi esie eye wusi wo he bia na kaso akwantempo no so langard bia ntete nemum sa pesa wo bodan no so na wo se kaso again
gagajai kaso
edita hona misika so
wo kase kaso langard bia ntete untina maybe say kaso
opposite ba mo ti ase ko o kape ahwa mi do gate na
o ma unko
wo mbe bo me no biso na mta akọ kaso e di ebusia se nia misika no ye ne sa na aboa won se wato asase wo si dan wo ya brantie wo se wo de wani chie mo dofi roofing system se ne be ya wo betimi aboa na enchance no ade ba akọ amanije wo dofi ofo ho ne se ne wo si peno no sa na wo mo ye de ama wo emudro ahoso a wo si peno sa na wo be hye no fefefe ene e be se bisa se wo te ben epoano ana o se epono ya na nkyire wom ti ya mawa ne ehu papa na ye de ema no na ane manager semba ko sika fa controller nche ya wato adi ene se payday manfo sika to account nim to se sede abante no sa no won be mo afi ba ko konfirihia miensa na wanya abotire etime de atua office no wo East Legon wo mo ben Trinity Theological Seminary ya obetimi afresim 0543661716 0543661716 and nasem 0243232818 unim say ya wanom de bi wo omai Ghana mu a wonum wi a no aye Gaius unim aye Blue Gents energy drink no what did that Blue Gents energy drink e ba ya chem over 20 years ni na budget cash and carry for Dr. Nana Ejui Agri ene mia me darling boy Nana KB be ma 10 gram wa ho fem ena wodwene Ghana fo ho no wodɔ Ghana fo ntim wɔkrade ba ye vitamins wom nutrient wom vitamin B2 B3 B6 B12 ne nyina bi wom a kyese boa hyehye ne pedua na hode timi bam enti wono Blue Jeans ne bia me kame kyerɛ se energy bia wo benya ne capacity ahode bia de be ye wadwuma no wonna da nanadɔm panti enkoto nkwankyɛn ne bia onom ya na ase wani kum na eba beka ho we de anya sa na tie doctor say baby awo bia no me pacho pebisi honom say ye fie office baby awo bia job bia se so ebekoyi wo hia Blue Gents energy drink no na di ne birthday say ne ye serve Blue Gents honom baby aye da na chese Blue Gents na aboa ye ema krom ne Ghana ye dem 0208128190 0208128190 0550 010000 fra Dr. Agri betimi afa na se na nkasa mu ebetimi afa Pepsodent cavity fighter fear was say color when je ho enya ho eya say yellow bi I say green bi nya sa na nyame bo wo wa na wo press ade ndi ama titio no wani halitosis nkabone wo wonum wo bie wa na kasa ya steady nkrofo oni obi kasa na wo konechi a bisa ho biom ya gapoha wo ka gapoha na sente ne ba na enya no wakope Pepsodent cavity fighter no twina no pane enwumira wo koda wo chu tachere maneso na unkom no osinkom no inside no me say me no kasa wona me di kan hwe te o yellow si a na me komechi sanfo no so pom petu mai no wade na no betare wa so hom aso no so is connected to hene no editor asemu enti wo de chako na ope anase lemon essence ana herbal emu bia no ebeboa to free number we ye ntil hwe 0800 200 030 0800 200 030 emama sede aye krabehwe na no me ko bia ye frase na me bisa no wo hu mi na nani age na bisa zadem wo se gaga onim se ohenere spices na wo kan wasem de kire me no meti na hyase mampemua ba echi na auto obu ase report so say ya wa so to ahodo enwoche no ya wone de ye nkwan abom jollof chicken beef spaghetti ya wa fish na asefo no me de ye aduane ma bema na se bedi ankokere se anche na bema no kwaje list che se enuoma mebusuafo list yi no mo woto ne bebre woto ma ne bro so na msian sansencheni wei na ohene spices ebe ye de amount enti de aduane bia wo ye jollof and say fried rice and say goat shrimps emu bia wo ye bia no be hia bi no artificial flavor bia eye so natural to ye aduane no na so obi de atim se koyo wa wo ye aduane ton anas ye ye ede ama ye mpena nom ye ede ama ye kunum nyina ohene ye spices no de wan kasa 0207805398 0207805398 afi 0244525908 Jemado and Sons one na ho ye dinti what the wall slip na bra se wo beda na de kakregu teche manase na etimi aboa ye papa wo beda na ho ade achi so abasori akonnwuma so a wodi ahode shonko na ade ko enu se enka ho na emom hye so say ye Jemado and Sons wall slip no wodi esumi se de be betimi adaye 0243-933-160 0243-933-160 Ruta natural products no your Ruta Michelle honom enu se chidi ade e bon bongalate and a Ruta Titanic no typhoid yare bone ba ko pa me say achi wa hom anse ato aduro so no obi anya wo hie duro papa enu ani Ruta Titanic no ebusua benya bia to sense ensoto na enye na so number no eniem 0242 66 2220 0242662220 Lawson Herbal Center ye mediemua Lawson local mechano e manum na me manum tie face ajai esense da chaya wogina park so ene style bi na doctor se ne wasiesie mana himfie honom e ma yeast no infections akodo clear nintim unza wankasa na nse wuyi ana bibia koye no sent bi anti be manum wo ba wonche ne ye justify your inclusion wo ba no wo bo adwuma ne ye na bibia koye onze na no empty check ubrembi wa mreme Lawson senchene e bode ma ne mema timuhie mu ana bibia koye dia mam Lawson no ne die se ne amamfo gusu a wo ton no na ebisu tuton no ede entia no apabia tom 0248619999 0248619999 afem 0242133577 Eco Bank DM was say ene e artificial intelligence ochina no ye nim ye ba na so nim se Eco Bank dia wonsesa na emom senchene a wo ne se wo sum Ghana fo nyina so papa baye 30 years no mo som ye efi mobile app so Eco Bank pay na afeso express point in there ene mantem dunsie nyina na ebi wo honom ti usikasam ebebo ho nta dia enu ane Eco Bank no Eco Bank the Pan African Bank African said Mr. Mede sorry so sansa ba amasisi amena na wasamra boy antebona wasigaga dro we dia ye o ageme papa ageme yo na mtinya abotre cancer na afi na meba betu ndosopo na media ben wo sansa ben wo sana wono no ma won frefre won krase arthritis pains pa na kire se eboatu ase ebinche woda won ti ase chewa na bon se ya na wona odi si wa na etitriti moja ntimi ne afusanem na ye dendenden ya obi a woti wom na emu jo enye joke sa cancer mixture no na bebuatu ase natural panty Ghana bibidre bi upe bitwa na aboa mese eye SSB sasabro no aha na bitu ase trust in Jehovah Clinic no watakwa na ye de buy number ni 0244871862 Watchro 0244871862 Africa swap 0245012201 Ukanshi drugstore lane 0244683583 from cancer mixture was habit me akabi na nyumre de yedam nyina ase mo anitie nya aka nyina ya nwuma